coaching, what you guys need to growth for. I know I found my home for life here at KW. It has been phenomenal experience these first 5 weeks, and I'm so excited to continue the path. And on that note, I'm going to segue to an introduction to add somebody to our phenomenal team here at this market center, and that is our new OP, Brady Sandall.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
How is everyone?
Great.
Good. My name is Brady Sandall, and I have the true privilege and honor to serve as your operating principal, which is to help Keller Williams Irvine be the absolute best market center that we can be. And like you, I sell real estate out of the Palm Springs market. That's what I'm known for. And I've had the privilege of leading 15 exceptional ladies and gentlemen. And our recipe has been based on one thing. And that's the one thing I want to bring to you. And that is we really approach real estate as the client arriving into the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel, or Montage Lagoon Beach, or Nordstrom South Coast Plaza. And I'm so honored to share that the leadership team here is already performing at that level. So the vision I have is just to make it easier for you to keep winning. And that's really what it's about, is that Keller Williams will become the house of excellence. And that means that we are the place where you can turn to when the seas get rough, and you can turn to when you need some celebration. And so as your operating principal, or OP, because we love acronyms at Keller Williams, I just want you to know that we're working every day to make sure that when you start your day, you're arriving into your Ritz-Carlton, your best in class. And that begins with Steele at the front door, and supported by Diane as your performance growth individual, and me. You know, I am known for being highly accessible, and I'm only a phone call away. So I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to give you my cell number, and you're welcome to use it. I'm also going to give you your email, and you're welcome to use that as well. And then I'm going to paint you down a road of where the market center will go, and how we can make sure that Keller Williams Irvine is the easy place for you. And then I'm going to invite you to lean into our culture. I'm going to invite you to lean into our systems. I'm going to invite you to lean into our people. And I'm going to ask you to find others that you want to be in business with. Because what we know is who you are in business with matters. I'm also going to talk with you about my standards. I'm a loving person. My standards are less loving. Yes. And so we're going to talk about how we're going to build a culture of standards and not of suggestions. Because I believe that you have the capacity to outwork your own potential. And I believe it's our job to help you get there. So my first name is Brady, B-R-A-D-Y. For those of you over 35, you know that came from a TV show. If you're under 35, well, you're under 35. It's just Brady. Last name is Sandall, S-A-N-D-A-H-L. My phone number is 760-409-1540. 760-409-1540. And I share that number with you, not because I am the only person leading you, but think of me as one of your cheerleaders. And there are moments when you'll need some cheerleading. And maybe you want some questions around vision. I'm all in for that conversation. My email is simply Brady, B-R-A-D-Y, Sandall, S-A-N-D-A-H-L @kw.com. So as you go through these screens and you look at the ladies and gentlemen who are serving our ladies and gentlemen, my job as the OP is to make sure that we have a very clear vision on who we are, and more importantly, what we do, and most importantly, how well we do it. And so back end, while we use the Keller Williams MREA systems and models, and we look at everything available in command, we're also going down the road of culture. And how do we create Keller Williams Irvine to be one that when the agent arrives or the client comes in, they feel like they've just arrived to the lobby of the Ritz-Carlton. And when the agent or customer is focused on the transaction, that they are staying at the Ritz-Carlton. And when the agent chooses to finish the transaction, or we've given a fond farewell to that buyer seller, they feel like they've checked out of the Ritz-Carlton. In addition to Ritz-Carlton, what are some great brands that you think deliver exceptional service?
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons, phenomenal.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Am I wrong?
Chick-fil-A is always named as one of the brands that delivers great service. Why do you like Chick-fil-A?
They're really nice and friendly. And
They're
they don't
really
charge
nice and
for
friendly.
sauces.
Absolutely. And there's probably a level of consistency in what they provide, right? Wouldn't y'all agree that when you have a consistent experience, you're more satisfied with the brand?
Yes.
And when your customers have a more consistent experience, they're more excited about your brand. What are some other brands that are really demonstrating luxury to high level?
Tiffany's.
Tiffany's. What else do they have? Tiffany's, the blue box,
Yes.
the blue bag, right? I also serve as director of growth for Keller Williams Luxury. So I just had our state of the company. And one thing I want to share with you that Keller Williams sold $33 billion worth of luxury real estate last year. And we define luxury as transactions over $1 million, 33 billion. We just did that in the first 5 months of this year. So, I took that position on in October and made some significant changes. The great news about KW Irvine, we don't need to make significant changes. We're going to make some really key enhancements. Let me talk about what that means. So we know that great brands like Chick-fil-A and Four Seasons and Tiffany's and any others, by the way. Nordstrom, absolutely. I worked for Blake Nordstrom and the Nordstrom family for a number of years. And what I learned from Nordstrom and Ritz-Carlton and even Chick-fil-A is they anticipate what the customers need and they give it to them before they realize they need it. I want to make sure you understand something very clearly, that your leadership team, which starts with Diane, we're very clear on making sure that we anticipate what you need and we provide it before you realize you need it. In other words, we're taking away the pain of the job of selling real estate. And we're providing more pleasure to how well you do it. So we're going to be looking at things that are going really, really well and doing more of that and fine-tuning some things that maybe just don't hit the mark. The second thing is I'm very clear that our job is to serve our ladies and gentlemen. This market center has been run like a retail store and it will continue operating like a retail store. We want to give you a best-in-class experience. And I believe that our job is to focus on our internal ladies and gentlemen first. And when we do that at a high level, you can focus on your ladies and gentlemen next. We're clear on that? We're also going to talk about performance every day. We're going to talk about the number of transactions that you are closing every day and celebrate the people. Diane and I speak the same language, which is how do we help our agents grow more productivity? How do we help you take more territory? How do we help you grow your profits? And everything that we focus on the market center applies to you as agents. We're also going to talk about ways of inspiring each other because, ladies and gentlemen, we are about 16 months into COVID. Today is a big day for California. It's a big day, another big day in 2 days. But yet, mental health and illness and strain is at the highest level it's ever been. And ladies and gentlemen, this is one of your family connections, and we want to be here. And when we're here as family members, I want to be very clear on how we respect each other and support each other. And I'm not going to allow anything less than that. If I get wind of a culture issue, I will address it as quickly as I can. And I will address it with care and concern, but I will remind you that we're building a culture of gratitude and grace and kindness and all the things we focus on in Keller Williams. I also encourage you, agents, to be supportive of your leadership team. Our leaders have the job of waking up every day, worrying about all of the agents in the market center, right? It's a lot of weight, and they worry about their family and their friends. So make sure as you're looking at ways of inspiring your customers, you're inspiring each other. Some of you are brand new to the market center, newly licensed, and I want you to know that we've all been brand new at one point. And you have selected the right company because it's the company that supports one another. So if there's anything that we can do, and there will be moments when we can, reach out to us. I also want to make sure that you recognize that your leadership team will be highly responsive to what you need. As we go down the road of building out the Ritz-Carlton experience or the Chick-fil-A experience or the Tiffany's experience, we talk about the level of service and what we do and make sure it's beautifully wrapped. That we're also responding to the things that you need. And I want to say this, that as Director of Growth for Luxury, I'm responsible for 197,000 people on 5 continents. I'm responsible for turning the entire ship of Keller Williams being the company for traditional real estate to the house of excellence. I put my hand up for this opportunity because I believe in the leadership of this opportunity. And as soon as I heard that Diane was selected as team leader, I put my hand up higher. I do believe you have one of the best administrative teams this company has ever seen. And I encourage you to lean into them, and I ask you to thank them at this moment. Questions so far? Ahas, thoughts? Tom?
When we call you, are we just going to get a voicemail or are we going to get?
Right now you get a voicemail. Yeah, right now you get a voicemail. But I am an old school individual, which means I believe in the power of phone conversation. Right? If you text me and say, "All right, when's a good time?" I'm probably going to call you right then. Right? And the way that I operate myself is how I provide the service for the customers, internal and external, right? I think as an industry, we've done a really good job of putting things in front of the customer so we don't have to speak to them. The challenge is, as we all know, that when we have the phone conversation or the Zoom conversation, the face-to-face, there are a lot of things that we can see, right? And we can get things done faster. And by the way, when you choose to use the phone, you're doing something that most agents don't want to do. And by the way, luxury clientele like communication. They're willing to pay for service, right? So what is the road ahead going to look like? Nothing dramatic, nothing massive is going to change. You're just going to notice a few things, like we're going from red walls to gray walls. You're going from no plants to flowers. You're going from low energy because you've been on your living room sofa for the last 15 months to a room of people that are excited to be together. This conversation is unique to you, but the activities of bringing people together, it's happening in all of our market centers tonight. Imagine how excited. No one's going to sleep tonight because you're all wired in. So big picture, vision. I'm here to double the profitability of the market center. And that means doubling the profit share of the market center. And I'm going to be asking you, who else do you know that you want to have join Keller Williams Irvine, the best market center in the company? And I believe we can get And here's how I believe that. Number one, this leadership team, in my opinion, has demonstrated the servant hearts at the levels that I rarely see in the company. Number two, they also understand the quantitative side of real estate, right? There's qualitative, everybody feels great, everybody gets along, all the touchy-feely, and then there's the business side of it. They understand that as well. And everybody's on the same page. And I'll be sitting down with each of them just to find out what's working well and some things that we need to do differently. I want to make sure we're really clear that Diane is your team leader, Diane is your CEO, Diane is the person that will lead you. I will be the visionary consultant. My job is to make sure that any obstacles she sees, we try to knock down. Or any extra jewelry I can bring into Irvine, we're going to put on the dress or the tuxedo. But she is your leader and I am here to support her. And I'm in essence a cheerleader. Questions on that?
You becoming in at all?
Absolutely. So I live in Palm Springs, California. It was 118 today.
Yeah.
You're saying
a lot. Yeah. It was one of the, I put my hand up for this opportunity because I believe in Irvine. I believe that this market center demonstrates the market center of the future. And let me share with you why. Real estate is almost like a fish. You have the head of the fish, which is low price product that doesn't really exist in Irvine, right? It just is non-existent. And then you have the tail of the fish, which is what I'm going to call the uber expensive real estate that's primarily, but not always, along the coast. And then you have the belly of the fish, which is where all the meat is, or for our vegan friends, the vegetables are. All right, that's where Irvine is. What I love about Irvine is that we are almost recession-proof, right? Because you have the majority of the transactions taking place in the middle of the fish. Now you can scale down if you want, and you can elevate, of course, to the tail. But the fact that you're in the middle of the fish is where we want to be. Now, I am a bit of a competitive person. I swam for 12 years and had great Olympic coaches. And I want to make sure that we grow our market share. And growth means, in this order, the production of the agents who are in our market center is our number one priority. Okay, are we clear on that? That has not always been the case with Keller Williams. The number one thing is growing the production of the agents that we have in our market center is our number one priority. Okay. Number two is growing the agents who choose to be in business with us. And I want to make sure that when we bring in agents, we're bringing them in at your level, right? And when we select the agent and the agent has selected us, we're onboarding them with that best-in-class onboarding experience. And I'm so pleased to know that our leadership team is already prepared to do that. But I do want to make sure we're clear that as the market starts to change, right, meaning we go from 50 offers to 5, right, a normal market, right, that we're here for you. And that's when you want to start coming back into KW Irvine. You want to reconnect to the office. You want to reconnect to the culture. You want to reconnect to the systems, or for some of you, start coming into the office. Start connecting to the culture. Start connecting the systems and office. The Keller Williams company today is different than the Keller Williams company 3 years ago. In fact, it's different than the company we had in February. I encourage you to spend more time in Hidden and Connect. Watch the videos of the executive team. Learn what they're doing. Watch what they're doing. See how they're doing. And then watch what we're going to do. So, number one, vision. I have the vision of doubling the profits for Keller Williams Irvine, and that means doubling your profit share. Number two, I want to make sure we deliver a best-in-class experience for all of our internal customers who are then empowered to serve their buyers and sellers, right? And number three, I want to give absolutely no reason for an agent to leave Keller Williams. The one thing I ask in return is that before you decide that there's a shinier object in the world, you come to the jeweler. Because one thing I know about consumer behavior is that your perception becomes my reality. Right? And I want to make sure that we are in sync with where you want to go and you're clear that we can help you get there. Questions? Yes.
I just wanted to say well done.
Thank you.
I was just wondering a little bit about how long you've been KW luxury division.
Sure.
And how we do have
Yeah.
team.
The question is, describe who you are. I came from a real estate family, real estate and hotel family. My mother ran trauma centers, spent the summers on Nebraska on a farm, and the winters in Portland where I attended school. I spent, did my first open house at age 5. Literally. I would serve cookies at the door and I would say, would you like a cookie? And they'd say yes. I said, would you like to buy the house? A little questionable on child labor laws, but that was back then. I knew that I wanted to sell real estate at a very young age. I mean, while I was building Legos and cutting out classified ads and like going to model homes at age 11, I thought that was, a street of dreams. But my father and mother said that you had to go work for corporate America. So I did a corporate run at Nordstrom and Microsoft and other brands you recognize like Starbucks, Alaska Airlines, University of Phoenix, Southern Venture Capital Group. And I did all of that in about 10 years. And then I took a couple years off and I decided to move from Seattle to California. And I was going to move to Los Angeles, but I didn't quite enjoy the people there. They're a little mean. So Blake Nordstrom said, why don't you relocate to Palm Springs, which I'd never been. And so I showed up and started with a brand called Remax. And I was with the Remax brand for 6 years. And I stayed with Remax until they decided to close. That was 2010. And so I interviewed with different brands and I ended up affiliating and opening Sotheby's because I thought that was the luxury company, right? And I was with them on a 5-year contract. And year 3, I realized that was not a big enough opportunity because what they relied on is their beautiful sign, but there wasn't anything else to rely on. And I'm smart enough to know that you can't just rely on the sign, right? So in 2015, I interviewed over 50 companies. And some of those were Pre-Compass and Telus and Douglas and Century 21 and Engel & Volkers, and I signed a lot of NDAs. And everything kept going back to Keller Williams. And so I went to Mega Camp as a Sotheby's agent. I sat in this room of 15,000 people and I thought, this is crazy. And Gary Keller got up and 9 minutes in, I said, I want to work for that guy. So that was the 3rd week. I would think that was the 3rd week of September, if I remember correctly, in 2015. And so I started selling real estate, or not selling, but I started to grow real estate. We went from 2010 to 2015, it was 60 million, 60 million, 60 million. I was always 60 million Sotheby's. They're like Bravo. I hit a ceiling. And you're always giving money to Sotheby's. So I gave them $1 million in 5 years. Like, that was wrong. But that's what happens. Went to Keller Williams and started to take the MRE models and the One Thing and the Ritz-Carlton experience with the Nordstrom background and build a beautiful business which will close $265 million this year. So what I'm going to say is that how I built the business will help you build your business. And how I built the business will help us build the market center. Because it doesn't matter if I'm just now speaking to the executive team here at Keller about what we're doing in luxury, how we've gone this way, or I'm helping you grow your business to here, or I'm helping you start your business here. It's all the same concept. If it works in a real estate individual business, it's going to work in a real estate team. And if it works in the real estate team, it's going to work for the real estate market center. If it works for the market center, it's going to work for the region. It's going to work for the region. It's going to work for luxury, and it's going to work for KW. So that's worth noting. Other thing I want to say is you can basically tell me anything, and I'm as calm as confident can be. In 17 years, I've never, ever raised my voice at any one of our ladies and gentlemen. Because I believe that ladies and gentlemen serve ladies and gentlemen. And the key word there is serve. Other questions? Yes.
Hi Brady, I want to say welcome on board. I've been seeing you on Wednesday every single month for the past several months during the cleanup factory.
Oh,
So my question to you is, since you are wearing different hats, what is your percentage of commitment to this important position as a people kind of
that's a great question. What is my level of commitment? So let me explain how we work. So I am not really in production anymore in Palm Springs, right? We have a great team of 15. As Director of Growth at KW Luxury, I'm committed to grow the overall vision of the company, right? Which is high-level vision and some execution. And then I'll be in Irvine 1 to 2 days a week in the market center here, working for her, supporting all of you. Yeah.
We have Leslie that was in our role.
Yes, yeah, Leslie Akers is a very dear friend of mine. She was the president of Keller Williams Luxury. And that particular entity is where they sold memberships and then you kind of moved over. And I recognized that Keller Williams was selling more luxury than Keller Williams was recognizing. And so of course I put my hand up and said, and I was like, Gary's like, what are the things we should talk about? I said, luxury. And Gary's like, oh. Sounds like you just volunteered for a task force. I'm like, I did. So, like my business, I wrote a 1-3-5 and I presented to Gary. And 1-3-5 is the 1 goal, 3 priorities, and 5 strategies. And Gary's like, this looks good. And so 5 years to the day that I joined Keller Williams was the day that he offered me the position. I want to go back to your question because I think it's really valid. Keller Williams is a huge organization. And there are many agents who take on positions and they don't quite grasp it, right? They're very wide. I'm very narrow, not narrow-minded. I'm just very focused. So what that means is that when I'm here 1 to 2 days a week, that may lead to 3, 4, 5. If I feel like I need to step in and support them. But I am very confident that we have the best people in the right seats. Now, question, do you think is that enough time? 1 to 2 days?
The 5 days will be great.
I guarantee you I'll spend more time there until like at least November.
Yeah, right.
It's miserable. Yeah. I will also tell you that I am looking at real estate to purchase in Irvine. So this is not a short-term play. This is a long-term play.
What you'd like to do is a buyer consultation on Bill.
Good question. I am not looking to be in production here. So I am not looking to expand. I am here because I have a clear vision of where I want Irvine to go. And that vision is to elevate the production of the agents in production, provide wealth building opportunities for our leadership team, and attract other agents that I want to have in the market center. So I will not be selling against you. Questions? Yes.
What would you anticipate us coming to you for?
Oh, good question. What would I anticipate you coming to for? Basically, it's around a couple things. One is you're either working away from pain or trying to build a better life. So we'll talk about the pain part first. I'm having a really bad day. Vaccine one. I don't understand how this works. I don't really know how to start my career. I don't really understand, or I'm distracted or anything like that. I've seen it all. Right? Pleasure part is I really want to be a better person in 5 years. There's a voice inside of me that I want to actually execute, right? I really want to get more involved in Keller Williams. My 50 market or my 50 company tour had one criteria. I wanted to find a company that I could be with for 25 years. So I was going to go from 45 to 70. So I'm 50. But I wanted a company where I could really not focus on production for me, but elevate the production of the people around me. That was my criteria. And other companies were like, well, why would you do that? Why would you not do that? So that's the goal. Question?
So I've often thought about what's the difference between, doing like selling properties that are under $1 million and then selling properties that are. Is it just the customer service, or would you say it's like the level of marketing or the different marketing strategies? Like what sorts of things make it
Sure.
different?
The question is, what's the difference between selling something under $1 million and selling something over $1 million? My overwhelming belief is that the level of service you provide and the experience that you choose to give will determine the price point you get to serve. Period. So if you have been floating around $500,000, there might be one of the few things going on. Number one, you may have this belief you're not worthy to sell more, which I'm going to coach you out of that. Right. Number two, you may not think that you know what to do or it's so mysterious. I'm going to coach you out of that. Right. Or number three, most common, you're not really clear what you're doing for the customers you're serving. And that's generally the issue. So we're going to work on with the leadership team on the value proposition. See, they already know all the great things they're doing. We just want to make sure we have that written down and that we can speak to that. And then once you have that written down, you're in a conversation with the seller and say, well, and your name is Natalie. So Natalie, have you sold any homes over $1.5 million last week?
This year.
Okay. And Natalie would say, I love the question. Share with me why that's important to you. And the seller says, wow, Natalie, that's a great question. Well, I just want to know that the experience is great. Natalie say, fantastic. What type of experience are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for a great Nordstrom experience. Terrific. What would the Nordstrom experience look like for you? Well, I just want to make sure that I know I can reach you. All of a sudden, Natalie's thinking it's the 1.5, but the seller says, I just want to know I can reach you. Well, I have a track record of working with clients who can reach me all the time. Would you like to call one of my clients on your phone or mine? Oh, no, Natalie, that's fine. Okay, should we go ahead and sign the contract? Well, that would be perfect. The primary difference between someone who focuses on a lower price point and someone who focuses on a higher price point is they ask better questions. That's it. You're caught in your head, oh, I didn't come from money. I don't have the 2021 car. I don't know. Versus, tell me what you're looking for in the consumer experience. Tell me what you're looking for. Why is that important to you? I want great photography. Terrific. I'm glad I'm here. We have a great photographer. May I show the photos to you? Well, of course. Are these the photos you're looking for? Absolutely. Shall we go ahead and be in business together? That sounds great. Questions? Yes, Tom.
I like your goal of doubling the market center, what do you think would be the best way to reduce, eliminate the attrition in the industry and on our market center? I go to page two, but I mean, that's one of our any one.
Well, I'm gonna get, this is recorded, which is so lovely. Yeah, we have to have an honest conversation of who's on the roster. And we have some agents on the roster who are not in production. And so we need to find out if those are agents who want to be in production or would prefer to step out of the roster. Point number one, right? Number two is focus on the priority, which is to help the agents in production sell more properties, right? And that leans into everything that we're doing to help them sell more. Number three, making sure that we take away the pain and position your mind that KW Irvine is the easiest place to represent clients. And then I think you'd close the door. I am not interested in building up a roster of non-performing people. I also want to be really clear that there may be people in particular chairs that are not ready to be in those chairs. That doesn't mean that I don't think of them. They just may not be ready for the chair that they're in, or they're in the wrong chair. And my team of 15, I had 3 individuals who I absolutely think the world of them, and they were in the wrong chair at the wrong time. I had a conversation and said, hey, I really believe in you. I think you're fantastic. I'm sensing that you're not quite ready for this chair. And they're like, oh, well, yeah. I said, well, I want to partner with you because I'm not going anywhere. I want to partner with you and make sure that we have you in the right chair right now. And let's get you into that chair or another chair that I think is going to work better for you. And I got to tell you, this one individual came in my office Friday, just like a nervous wreck. Light, I mean, just like, I thought she was going to pass out. I was like, are you okay? She's like, and a little bit of vomit there, literally. I said, what's wrong? She's like, I said, here's the thing. I believe in you and I want you in the organization. I said, I believe that you're in the wrong chair or you sat in the chair too soon. Let's move you out of the chair. Let's do an honest assessment and then let's get all the plan. I never give up on people. She came back Monday morning. Oh my God. New haircut, new wardrobe, makeup, and a new car. And I was like, whoa, okay. She's like, I have never felt more comfortable in my own skin than I do right now. Generally, when someone's acting out or they're moving away from the arena, it's because they're not comfortable and they're fearful of coming to someone saying, hey, I need help. I believe in every single one of you. And even if I don't know you, I have the perception that you are great. It's just, are you in the right chair right now? Or is there another chair for you? And I have no problem having that conversation because I'm having the conversation because I believe in that person. In my, let's say, I started corporate America in 1988. I believe I've only had to terminate maybe 3 people. Now, did I move people around? Absolutely. Why? Because it was clear to me that they were in the wrong seat or it wasn't the right time. And I don't want people drowning. I swam 12 years. Drowning's not pretty. I don't want people drowning, right? And I'm really clear. I have no problem saying I have some concerns. We talk about that, right? But I do it with grace and I do it with gratitude, and I do it because I believe in the person. I want them to be successful, and I have to make the decisions that are best for the market center. Questions? Yes.
It's related to luxury.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
don't want to take everyone's time, but it's something maybe I can speak to after or now.
Ask it now.
Yeah, I noticed when you want to be a luxury agent, you've got to do 4 transactions over a certain price tag before you get that qualification. I've got 2 right now. And it's frustrating because I'd love to be able to showcase there.
Sure.
It's luxury, but I can't until I get to the floor.
Here you can. So let's go through this. This is something that's good to know. So when I put my hand up for Keller Williams, we're good on time. I came to Gary and I said, Gary, I don't want Keller Williams to focus on selling corn dogs to the corn dog crowd. And he's like, I don't even know who you are. I said, I want us to recognize that every single lady and gentleman is luxury. He's like, what is that? I said, I believe that every single one of our agents is luxury. And that it's the property that qualifies, not the agent. So here's how that translates. Every single one of you, including our newest, and your name is? Moran? Mariah. M-A-R-I-A-H.
Correct.
I love that. Mariah, brand new, and you've been licensed, Natalie, how long? Okay, a little over a year. And Tom, you've been licensed for? Okay. Mariah, Natalie, and Tom, all in the same situation. Are we clear? So let's assume that they go on a listing appointment in Orange County, maybe San Diego County, and Los Angeles County. Each county in the US has an established luxury floor. And when the property is priced above the luxury floor for the county it's in, that agent can market that property as a KW luxury listing. Which means you can use a KW luxury sign, you can use the KW luxury just listed brochure, which is free. You can use the KW luxury social media platter, which is free. You can use this KW luxury just sold mailer, which is free. And you can market that as a KW luxury property. Now, why might I do that? Extra exposure. Extra exposure. And why might I do that? From a customer's perspective. Reputation. And why might I do that for a customer?
For the seller.
What's that?
For the seller.
For the seller. Here's actually why we do it. The customer has to recognize the property because that's what they're moving into. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not moving in with you. And if they are, well, then congratulations. Just make sure they buy a good one. You're going to spend their money, make sure they have money to spend. But we want to make sure that consumers are moving around the globe. And as consumers move around the globe, what do consumers know about Chick-fil-A and Four Seasons and Tiffany's? They know what they're going to get. It's not about the Chick-fil-A employee at, Tustin versus Laguna Niguel. It's about they want the sandwich. They want the experience. It's like going to Starbucks. I know what I want is an iced green tea. They were out of iced green tea at the store down the street, which is shocking. It was like, you're hot. What? What's wrong? I got boxes. It's good. But so when you list a property that qualifies, it qualifies because of the county that's in the price point, and then you get to market as such. Now, my second thing to Gary was retention. I want to build out a community of people who have not paid to be in, but who have earned it. Because I'm not a fan of a trophy for every child. That's another conversation. I believe in recognition for every child. But I believe that if you're going to earn into something, you should earn into something, right? Rather than give them a Visa card or MasterCard or, I don't know, Discover card's still around. Maybe it is. So once Simon has closed his 4th transaction of luxury, then we celebrate Simon by having him earn into a room of other people. And by the way, we've had 7,000 agents at Keller Williams earn it. Now this year, to date, we've had over 8,000 agents close at least one transaction over $1 million. So our community of agents who've earned in is growing every single day. So that reinforces my vision, much like I have at the Irvine, that every single one of you is luxury. Some of the properties will qualify and some of them will not. Now, when Simon earns in and gets that 4th closing, and we welcome him into a community called KW Luxury, then Simon can market himself as a Keller Williams luxury agent. Not every property he lists can have the KW Luxury sign because we want the consumer to see the sign on those properties that qualify as luxury. So if you're gonna go to Palm Springs, you'll see Brady Center Real Estate Group for things under $1 million, because that's that county floor, and things above $1 million, Keller Williams Luxury, Brady Center Real Estate Group. Okay. Questions?
So regarding the KW luxury sign.
Yes.
So what if it's not luxury property? Would you still put that on there, or would that be a misnomer?
Misnomer, so you only want to put the luxury sign and the luxury collateral on the properties that qualify. So I love to give analogies. So behind the curtain and in front of the curtain, right? So behind the curtain, we're always going to give best in class service. We're always going to surprise and delight. We're always going to give them that level of service regardless of the price point, because luxury is an experience, not a price point. What the consumer sees in terms of the for sale sign and the collateral will be either traditional marketing or KW luxury marketing. The determining factor is the property price point. Here's why that's important. If you have a property, let's say in Jamboree, that's worth like $750, and it's not looking real good, and you put a KW luxury sign, and it's like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. That guy doesn't get it. And I know you're smart. And yet if you go down the road and you have like a million, $2 million home, let's say in, near Strawberry, that beautiful golf course, which I love. I'm still going back for the ice cream, by the way.
Whenever you're ready.
There you go. We want the consumer to feel like they've arrived at the luxury. So back to your point, Natalie, it's that 3 things you have to know in luxury: market data, which we'll work on that, the products and services you're offering to help them, and the experience you're going to give them. You'll tell them about number 1, market data. You'll tell them about number 2, products and services. You're not going to tell them number 3. I mean, when I work with Steel, we're not going to tell you what we're going to do on certain things of your transaction. We're going to surprise you. When I work with Lindsay, we're not going to say, oh, by the way, Mariah, you're going to get this on that. No. Surprise and delight experience. And I love to surprise people. What I enjoy. Yeah. It's all good.
So how do I get those property on the luxury that I've got right now?
Oh, good. How do you get on property? Yeah, you just go to the,
I went to what you sent me, and that wasn't an option on my command.
okay. So how do you find a luxury? So KW Connect /communities, scroll down and see the new KW luxury. You click on that and then scroll down, and the marketing pieces are there. If you have difficulty, we'll find it. We'll get it for you.
Thank you.
And then from there, you just order the KW luxury sign, or order this, order that. It's all free except for the sign. You got to pay for the sign, but you get all that organized. And then when you've earned in, then you have a luxury hub, which is a more robust engine.
What's the price point for Orange County luxury?
It is Orange County. It is 1.4. Is it 4 flat? 1.4 flat. It is 1.8 for LA. It is 1.385 for San Diego.
There's 1.3 something.
Yeah. 1.4 flat for Orange County. Riverside is 1 million. San Bernardino is also, San Bernardino now is 1 million, I believe. Yeah. Questions?
I got one question here. I'm a recruiter. That's what I do. I'm
Perfect.
on sale. I do maybe 3 houses a year. How can we motivate everybody in KW to realize that we have a profit share? Because if you look at the stats, very, very few people in all the branches, and this branch included, have people under them. How can we inspire
Yes.
and show people that profit sharing is really your future and your residual income for life? How do we do that?
Let's have a class on that.
Okay.
Let's teach that class, and let's teach that class frequently.
Great.
Here's one thing. Thank you, by the way.
Mhm.
What I love about, and your name is,
Jim Ford.
oh, you're Jim
Yeah,
Ford.
I'm Jim Ford.
Oh
I
my
do
gosh.
I do the real estate school.
Yes,
I do
Jim.
all that.
I feel like I should get your autograph today. Jim brought up a good point, and that is Keller Williams, I believe, is the only organization that truly is designed to help the agent build a profitable business. Other brands are designed to make the company profitable, period. We're designed to make profits happen for the market center and the agent. And profit share, and this came straight from Gary, is the foundation and starting point for everything that Keller Williams does. And so everything that we are going to do is going to be just designed to help agents stay and build their productivity and their profit share. Here's what I think really happens is that agents in Southern California are focused on their commission, right? And it's like, well, I could work on my profit share, or I could go list a listing for $750 and make X amount of money. That's where they go. You can do both, right? It's as easy as you going through your last 30 days or 60 days or 90 days and asking what Jim probably asked, who did you like doing business with? Now, here's the reality, and I think we have to accept this reality that profit share, the perception is on the other agent side, well, if I go to Keller Williams, Jim is taking a portion of my commission. No, it's called profit share, not commission take. Got it? We're sharing profit, right? I think we really have to come into a classroom environment and leave our egos at the door and say, okay, I want to learn this, and then just ask all the questions. And I'd love to have you be part of that.
Yeah, I would love to, it's one of my things, that's what I do, about a third of the agents came from me. And I was taught by Gary on how to do that, and I think we just have to continually educate and say that this is the way you go. You got to shoot the supermarket, you meet somebody and you have your badge. You know, people will ask questions.
I believe
that's
that
what we need.
he's just volunteered to help present that class.
I
I saw that right hand go up, right? Yeah, yeah. I really am so passionate. Why I'm here is I see a huge opportunity for profit share. Huge opportunity for profit share. Yes.
Brady, if I may, I'm gonna put my, like you talked about, coaching hat on. In order to make that more successful, your relationship with that other agent should be that Tiffany experience.
Yes.
Yes.
And if it's not, and if there's gonna be problems, they're not necessarily gonna be too.
That's right. It's a combination of, we have to know, and this is interesting how our agent business runs, Natalie. We have to, the market center has to know their numbers, and we have to share the numbers with all of you, right? Number two, we have to be really clear on the products and services we offer our agents. Number three, we have to be really clear on the experience we provide our agents. And when all of you understand that, and then you make the connection that you actually don't have to do the recruiting, you have other recruiters who can help, your life is golden. I love the 21st of every month.
Yes.
Right? I gotta tell you though, as director of growth for KW Luxury, I have to remind myself about that every day. I mean, it's a learned behavior. Oh my goodness. Because here's what happens. Your name is
Shannon.
Shannon. Shannon, I love your earrings.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Shannon did a great thing. And your name is Gigi. I love your hair.
Thank you.
Okay, pause. Okay, and let's see. Oh, and your name is?
Nancy.
Nancy. Nancy, I love your ring. Yeah. She's like, ah. So here's what happens. I love your earrings. Oh God, I got these at TJ Maxx. I just threw them on. I love your hair. Oh, I didn't get it cut. I'm long overdue. Where I'm going with that is that when someone gives us a compliment, you're like, yeah, you panic. We want to say thank you. And then we want to ask, oh, shall I connect you with my jeweler? Should I connect with my stylist? Should I connect with my jeweler? Can I connect you with our team leader, Diane? Because they're going to say things like, oh, Mariah, I love, oh my God, Your Lindsay, your MCA, she's phenomenal. Thank you for noticing. Can I connect you with our market center so that you can work with Lindsay on a full-time basis? Hello. So ladies and gentlemen, but ladies, you have my permission that when someone gives you a compliment, that you simply say thank you. And then you ask the question, oh, I'm glad you love the photos of your home. Who else do you know who'd like to enjoy photos of their home? In other words, who else do you know who'd like to list their home with me?
Yes.
Last year in Palm Springs, 70 closed referrals came from that question game that totaled 43 million in sales, 1.35 in GCI. Your life's gonna get really good with me as your OP. Here's the vision, and then I think we're gonna wrap up, right? In a short amount of time, I'm gonna suggest that's by the end of the year or sooner. When someone is in a neighborhood that you're serving, and they look across the street and they see a box arrive at that doorstep, they will recognize that that box is a box from Keller, Irvine. And in that box, which is the House of Excellence, they recognize that they're getting the best in class experience. There's absolutely no reason why we cannot be Chick-fil-A, Four Seasons, Tiffany's, Ritz-Carlton. That's the direction we're going. I invite you to be part of that. Along the way, a couple things. I want you to make sure that you thank the leadership who supports you every day. Number two, I want to make sure you lean into the culture and systems and models more than you have been. Number three, your job was to be on an island for the last 16 months. That island is now on the mainland. You need to plug that in. Number four, there are people in your neighborhood that need to hear from you. Call them. Don't text them, call them. Number five, there are agents that are drowning and they need to be with Keller Williams. And we all have the job of finding and selecting the type of agent that we want to do business with. And as we go down the road together, and I'm here, we're going to talk about what we're doing to make your life easier, to make your life better, and to make your role more profitable. And along the way, there'll be some fun surprises and delights. I'm truly honored to be serving with you. And I invite you to go through those checkpoints that I just shared. And along the way, you'll have questions. And I want you to know that every question is valid and I hold no judgment. I do spend more time with people that are more engaged because that shows me that they want to build a bigger world for themselves and their friends. Diane, anything that you would like to share?
You know what I'd like to share is my excitement about what's possible for each and every one of you and this market center.
Yeah.
We are weeding through a sea of opportunity
Yeah.
and potential.
Yeah.
And it's an exciting place to be.
It's good. You're welcome. I'd like to invite our leadership team up to the
Yes.
front. I want to have them a chance
Wow.
to give them a brief introduction of who they are and what they do. And then I want to make sure that you understand their role. So Steele, I think you're in the back. Yeah, let's bring everybody up front. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up, Steele. Yeah. Yep, come on up. Yeah.
The team.
So what I'd like to do, yeah. You to stack yourself in the order, so I'm gonna put you over here, right here, next to Diane. That right
Yeah,
there, actually.
yeah.
I want us to understand how the consumer, either a consumer that you're serving, buyer, seller, or an agent, moves through the market center. So Steele is the person at the front desk who, in my mind, has the most important job every day. Because Steele's responsibility is to set the rhythm of the day. If Steele and he always does, has a great day, then I'm gonna have a great day.
Yep.
Much like if you walk in an aircraft and the flight attendant is panicking,
Turn around.
oh my God, don't get on the plane. Do not get on the plane. I was flying on Frontier Airways or airline or whatever it's called.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm in the last seat. Now, I had worked for Alaska Airlines for John Kelly, the CEO, and I'm in the last seat, and there was a husband and a wife and me. And she decided to go into labor and, right? And I said, how in the world did you get on the plane? She's like, oh, we're going to Vegas. I'm like, you're going to Vegas? Flight attendant comes around the corner, passes out. Second flight attendant comes down the aisle, passes out. I've got 2 flight attendants passed out. And I'm like knocking on this is pre 9/11, knocking on the cabin door. Your flight attendants are passed out. So he sets the stage and the rhythm. So still round of applause.
Yes.
Who's actually going to be next? Because I think that's important.
That
to
would be
the
this one
consumer.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm agent services coordinator, event coordinator, and tech coordinator.
Understand what you provide for them and how you make their life
So
easier.
all onboarding goes through me. I work very closely with PC agents at the channel. And any events that happen, you'll probably get RSVPs from me. If you have questions in regards to those events, I'm your go-to agent liaison. If you have a question and I don't know the answer, I know who does, and I will point you in their direction.
So she would be the concierge for you. So whether you're onboarding yourself back into the culture, or you're bringing someone into the culture, she's your concierge. She's also your checkpoints. If you need a little help navigating into something, because things are happening every day, she is the one to check in. She's got an important job. We're going to work on together is how do we onboard or welcome individuals into the market center so that they understand more sooner. All right, great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Diane Schmidt, I am your team leader, and I'm here to create growth for you, the agents that we bring in that will fit our culture. I oversee all the operations and really anything that you need. Open door policy, you all should have my cell phone as well.
Yeah, and we have an obligation to make sure that Diane is growing your production as well as growing the market center. So when you find agents who you like, it's as simple as Diane, I just closed a transaction with agent Amy or agent Alex. I'd really like for you to reach out to them. She will take that and run with that.
Absolutely, Tom just did that this afternoon.
Yeah, way to go, Tom.
Mhm.
All right, Lindsay.
Hello, Market Center Administrator. I handle financials, budgeting, 1099s, tax questions, commission questions. Pretty much anything having to do with money.
Check.
Yeah, and what
My go-to.
one of the things about
She's HR.
do this. So every month, the region gets an update as to which MCAs have actually performed correctly, met deadlines, which is helpful because it allows you to get paid and Keller Williams to be clear on the direction. And she's always hitting the deadline and goal. And I think really what makes Lindsay so unique is that most MCAs are hidden in a computer screen and fail to have the personality, and she has both. So be sure to recognize how great she is, and most importantly, how well she does it, because agents don't always have clarity around numbers, and she has the ability to give you clarity, and she does it with grace. So I'm
Yes.
really happy to have her in that particular seat. Great.
Oh, hi, I'm Sky. I am her assistant, so I do all that stuff that she does. I will be your gatekeeper as well, so you'll probably come to me first, and I will stop you if it's really important to go right there. I also do all the technology stuff, so I'll train you guys on our KW platforms, set you up with all that if Annie's not available, and yeah. Any tech questions you guys have, if I don't know the answer to it, I will figure it out for you, and we'll move on from there.
So she is a great resource to all of us because she does help you navigate through some of the challenges around selling real estate. So technology and numbers, and we actually have what's called a regional technology trainer that will come in and do some classes with her and for you. So Sky is really on point, and they have a really good relationship with each other.
Yes.
And like Steele, they set the rhythm and the energy level of the day. So
I do want to plug that she's recently been doing a great class called skydiving into command. Like
Oh,
play on words.
yeah,
Yeah,
And I
it's
think-
just training.
Yeah.
I love it, skydiving into command.
command is changing and enhancing every day. And so it's a language, and it's a language we need to study. And I think having the classes here.
Yeah, it's a
Are great.
fantastic
Yeah.
value
Can I
to
ask
the
a
agents.
Yes.
Just on a simple tech thing, say I'm on zip forms and I want to go print the thing that goes, oh, you have a pop-up blocker, no. Instructions, so that'll be 20 minutes. Sky, do I come to you? Or do
Yeah,
we
you
have
can
someone
mess
in the
around
company?
with it.
That's just what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I'll always like take a look at it, see if I can figure it out, because I generally will just,
I know. you
I
have
just am an
help.
inquisitive person, so I will just go and mess with things for a while. So if you come across anything, you're having trouble, definitely reach out to me and I'll try to help. If I can't, we do have IT people that will come in and do the bigger,
Yeah.
more techie stuff that I did not go to school for. you know.
Yeah.
Oh, those are-
So
Yeah.
one of the,
Skydive right into it.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's something simple like that, but it's just like, okay, I'll go around and try and get another way of doing it. So anyway, thank you.
We
I didn't
want-
know, because I do go to you. I didn't know if that's the correct protocol.
yeah, so a lot of those words up there, like emotion and not easy. I mean, we really want this to be an easy place for you to work. And so as you come up with issues, rather than waste 15-20 minutes, just reach out to one of the leadership team members. Simon.
Simon Plato, I am your productivity coach. So working with a few of you already, my job is to help you get in, immerse yourself, learn the scripts, learn the dialogue, learn the objection handlers, and help you with your first 4 transactions, more if you like, but definitely your first 4 transactions, whether they be buying, renting, industrial, commercial, whatever it may be, pertaining to real estate. On you go.
Mhm. Great. I'd like to bring up Dale to the front if we may.
Are you gonna fire me now?
No,
He's been telling everyone that easy days in
I'm
your
a
fired.
no.
He says with a smile.
I really think it's important to acknowledge Dale, because Dale is in many ways the underlying current of the culture that you have.
Yes.
And with Dale's leadership, and I think this is really a great testament, he recognized that he wanted to go into a different chair and find someone who would allow the market center to grow bigger. And so I'm honored that I get to be that person to help the market center grow. And Dale, I think that you, I think I will say in 12 months that you are one of my 5 in my inner circle. So I'm
That's
honored.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm honored. So ladies and gentlemen, are there any other questions that we, as your leadership team, can answer for you today?
No, we're grateful for you guys.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic.
So
we're
if
gonna
everyone
get-
could stay where they're at, we flip over, everyone look over here, we're gonna get a picture. If we could pop it like this
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
I'll pop in the middle.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we have a celebratory cake to
Yes,
follow.
on that note, we also have cake.
We got-
Great.